Hello, and welcome to Tommy Media's The Locker Room. I'm Adam Mueller. The St. Thomas men's basketball team will play its home opener this Friday, November 10th, against the Idaho State Bengals. The Tommies are coming off a season-opening road loss to California, in which graduate forward Brooks Allen and senior guard Drake Dobbs combined for 31 points. Today, I am joined by head coach Johnny Tower, Brooks Allen, and Drake Dobbs. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having us, Adam.
Yeah, Coach, Idaho State's 6'8" center Braden Parker scored 28 points on 11 for 11 shooting in your last win over them last season. How does the team plan to contain him this time around?
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game. I mean, one of the more impressive statistical performances, and he's a really good player. He's all conference last year, really crafty, unbelievable footwork, can shoot threes, and so he's not an easy guy to defend. Certainly, we'd like to do a better job than we did last year, but I think really impressed with not just how he played all last year, but the strides that he's made. And so it'll be a collective effort. You know, it sounds cliche, but it's not going to be one guy who's charged with stopping him. It's going to be everybody has to really understand their assignments and whether you're guarding him or you're helping on him. And they certainly have a litany of other players who are really prolific scorers as well. And so we're going to have our work cut out for us, but it should be an electric atmosphere, opening night, home crowd. We're really looking forward to it. Idaho State has a tough physical team. They're really well coached. Coach Looney does a tremendous job, and so it should be a fun, competitive atmosphere.
What's a positive takeaway from Cal that you want to carry into the game against Idaho State, and what's a negative you want to address?
Well, I think there were a lot of things. First game of the year, you know, there's always, I mean, every season it's a lot like taking a class, right? Like you get back to class in September and you've done it your whole life, but it's still the first game for players and coaches, and so I thought our guys did a really good job. I mean, against a Pac-12 opponent who has enormous size. They're really talented, well coached, and I thought our guys went toe-to-toe with them for 40 minutes. And so, you know, that's certainly one of the positives. I think playing on that stage against a team like that, and not just that, but I think our alums, the crowd support, the way our university and our athletic program and our program, I think, are representing and building the St. Thomas brand. I think those are all huge positives. Certainly on an individual level, a guy like Drake, who played more minutes than he ever has for us, Carter Bierke, who redshirted last year, hadn't played before, and some other new guys who made contributions. I think all of those were really positive. I wouldn't frame them as negatives. We had a long film session yesterday, and I don't think any of it is negative. It's more learning and growth at this point of the season, and I don't think there's anything egregious. It's more, how do we clean up a few turnovers? How do we get a little bit better in our help side on defense? How do we rebound a little bit more tenaciously? But those are all things over the course of the season that I think we will improve, and really excited to work with these guys because I think we're going to have a fun season. We got a really hungry group and a bunch of guys who are growing into new roles this season.
Brooks, you led the team in scoring against Cal Monday, but a theme you mentioned in the past is finding ways to lead beyond the box score. What are you going to do to help your team other than scoring?
Yeah, obviously I've been in the program for 5 years now, so I've been fortunate enough to learn a lot from former teammates, from a great coaching staff, and beyond just things that show up on the stat sheet, try to huddle our team whenever we need it, when there's a whistle, just try to keep the spirits high, but make sure we don't get too high and not too low. I addressed the team before the game and said that, you know, the time of just being happy to be there because we're in our third year of the transition, that's over. In that now we're here, so when we get up by 4 or 6 or 8 early, we shouldn't get too high. We need to remain calm because that's what we expect from ourselves. So when we get there, nothing should change.
Brooks, in your career, you have shown your ability to compete against Power 6 teams. How does this set the tone for competition later in the season, especially against ranked teams?
Yeah, so last we opened at Cal, they're ranked number 9, and later on we play Marquette, and those are fun games to play, and you know, great environments. You really have nothing to lose when you're the underdog, so I just kind of embrace that personally. But I mean, I don't always play my best against Power 6 teams. Last year at Utah, I went 0 for 8 from the field with a goose egg, but I was trying to embrace the moment, have fun out there, and when you're having fun, usually you play at your best.
Drake, you played 35 minutes last game and scored a career-high 14 points. How does it feel to be playing a larger role on the floor?
Man, it feels great. It's been a long time coming. I haven't had the easiest road in college so far, but it's a credit to the coaching staff and JT. He's been instrumental in my life. Just, you know, having conversations with him and looking at myself in the mirror, I've made significant progress over the past year and a half, 2 years, and you know, I just want to do whatever it takes to help the team win, and I'm going to bring a ton of energy every single time I'm on the floor.
Drake, this past offseason, the team lost 2 guards who combined for 28 points per game. How do you and your teammates in the backcourt going to make up for that lost offensive production?
Yeah, we lost Rhodey and Riley Mueller, so those are 2 really talented players, and I don't know if we need to make up for their loss. We have a lot of new players this year who are different. So I think we're maybe a little bit deeper this year too. We got a lot of people who come off the bench and provide scoring for us. So we're gonna miss them a lot, but we have a lot of new players this year who can bring a lot to the table.
Coach, looking further ahead, how will these early teams that you're playing set the tone for even tougher games down the road, especially currently 5th-ranked Marquette?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that and Cal are probably the 2 games that everybody circles on the calendar. But the reality is, we look, and these guys are really good at this, that you only get to play the game in front of you. And you get 31 opportunities in Division I basketball. Every one of those games is really challenging, and so I don't think it's not difficult to say let's focus on the task at hand. And tomorrow's Idaho State. I also think these guys embrace. We talk a lot about competitive joy, and just if you're playing basketball and you're investing as much time as they do, from lifting to film to summer workouts to practices to shooting on their own. I mean, you've got to love it. And we're fortunate to have 15 guys who I think are really good teammates. They love basketball, they love each other. And so you try to embrace every one of those moments that win or lose, like we're going to struggle well together. We're going to have some really high highs. And I think more than anything, this journey, you look at Brooks in his 5th year, 4 months from now, this season's over, right? And so it's going to be a whirlwind. And so how do you stop and smell the roses a little bit and really enjoy that as hard as they're going to work? It's a unique opportunity to play college basketball, and so I think we're all really grateful. I know I am to coach at a university like this. I know these guys are to play here, and we're just really grateful for all the support. I think tomorrow will be a sellout crowd, and our crowds last year were incredible, and so really looking forward to seeing all our students back in Schoenecker Arena.
All right, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Be sure to follow along on TommyMedia.com and on social media @TommyMedia for more St. Thomas sports coverage. With Coach Johnny Tower, Brooks Allen, and Drake Dobbs, I'm Adam Mueller. We'll see you next time in The Locker Room.